All right, Moerio, welcome to the STEM Profile Series.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so now, um, Moerio, you are an electrical engineer. And here on this series, we talk about science, technology, engineering, and math. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, in the last couple of sit downs I've had, I've spoken with an engineer, electrical engineer, and an electrician. So from your view, what's the difference between those two roles and what helped you to decide which direction you wanted to take?
Well, I think electrician is more hands-on, I guess, more real world application in the sense of like I need a house wired or I need a building wired, I'm gonna get this done. And electrical engineers are more thinkers, I think. This is the theory, this is the op amp, this is the input voltage, what's gonna be the new output voltage based on the output, based on the op amp, you know. I have the theory. I apply Kirchhoff's laws, Kirchhoff's voltage law, Kirchhoff's current law. I analyze the circuit. These are the numbers I came up with. So I think you think more. I would say you have to think more as an engineer, like designing and I guess circuit analyzation and just theory more so than an electrician.
Okay. And so for you, you decided to go the electrical engineering route. What kind of influenced you in that direction?
Sorry, hold on. Sorry. Um, I just wanted a challenge. Like I was good at math in high school, and I got up to pre-calc, and I thought, man, I can. I mean, I heard like the girl who graduated third in our class in our AP physics class, which I had with her, say that she wanted to be an electrical engineer, and I thought I want to be the same thing. I can think just like you. Why can't I challenge myself? And so I did, but I found that when I did it, I didn't enjoy it like she did or know it as well as she did. She went to University of Maryland. I went to Capital Technology University in Laurel. But Maryland, University of Maryland College Park is more of a premier school than the school I went to, So it I forgot the question, but yeah, it just depends on what you like and what you want to do.
Now you said you didn't enjoy it as much as she did.
Right.
What in that field were you looking for that you didn't quite get, or what was kind of the disconnect in your view?
Well, I thought I could like learn how to make something like make maybe work on a new product, like say a new tablet or a new iPad or a new iPhone or something like that, and maybe I can learn how to work on something like that. Maybe not necessarily design it, but how to work on it or fix it or analyze it or something like that, or work in the office about it or some kind of way. But I never learned that in the classes. Everything I learned was like old school classical stuff. This is a resistor, this is a capacitor, this is an inductor, this is an RLC circuit. Analyze it. This is the breadboard. Put the resistors in there, wire it up, turn the power on, make these voltage measurements. You know, they were teaching me the basic kind of stuff like that, but that's not really what I had in mind. I just wanted to get my degree because I had first got my associate's degree, and after I got my associate's degree from PG Community College, I um I still wanted my bachelor's degree, and so I was kind of bought in once I had the associate's degree. Like I wasn't going to switch majors. I was going to finish what I started.
Okay, so you started out with the associate's degree, then went on to the bachelor's degree. And
Yeah.
did you have any type of mentorship or guidance about, how to get into the field once you graduated?
No, I really didn't. I was trying to get help from the college I went to, Capital College at the time they were called, and now at Capital Technology University. But I didn't find that the people were very helpful in helping me find a job. I went to a few career fairs, gave out lots of resumes, had contacts and stuff like that, but it wasn't, everything was really popping off. And it was like the people who worked at my college didn't know how to make things pop off or have connections. So it just wasn't there. I think they're more of a school that's like, okay, if you got this high GPA, like 3.5 or 3.8, yeah, we can help you. But if you got a 2.5, no bueno, no good. We can't really help you. Just wasn't supported like that. And I think they cater to um, aeronautical engineering and not necessarily electrical engineering. I think they cater to like aeronautical engineering and information assurance, stuff like that, the comp sci stuff, not really the electrical engineering stuff. So
Okay, all right. So now you said you mentioned earlier being good at math
yeah.
in school. Did you find that helped you through the program?
Yeah, it did. It was really useful. Math was always not my passion, but my I had a love for math. And I actually decided to start my own math tutoring business now. So that's what I'm doing now. But sometimes you need somebody to break something down to you because you just don't know. I say the analogy is like it's like a red belt in karate teaching a green belt something, you know. Sometimes you just don't know the moves well enough. You think you know, but deep down you don't have it down by the book, you know. And sometimes you need somebody to kind of hold your hand a little bit.
All right, so we kind of talked about the math thing.
Mm.
Um, so you know, early on, did you have any early kind of STEM experiences in your early education that kind of pushed you in that direction, that kind of primed you maybe for this work?
No, I just like math. I just knew once I got to like algebra 2 and above, I like graphs. I like exploring the graph and seeing how it connects and intersects and crosses the x-axis and the y-axis and find the points of intersection and find the area under the curve in calculus 1 and using my trig functions on my calculator to calculate the tangent of 30 degrees and knowing that sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. I liked all that stuff.
Okay, okay. So now, having worked in the field, and even though it didn't necessarily connect with you, what do you think are some of the skills that someone would need to be successful, or that someone would need to want to be in that field and enjoy it?
You got to be good with numbers. I've always been good with numbers. Like I give you a number, it's good. You know what I mean? Like just as an aside, sometimes I pick out the lottery number, but that's another story. But just saying, you got to be proficient with numbers, efficient in what you're doing. Like you calculate something out, it should be right the first time, not the second, third, fourth time. It should be right the first time. You got to get used to that. So that's major right there.
Okay, and I think
Engineering or math.
engineering or math. Okay,
Yeah.
and I think one of the things I noticed that stood out to me in your LinkedIn profile was you talked about your communication skills. How important are communication skills in electrical engineering?
Well, I say even outside of electrical engineering, anytime you can talk or write well or rotate well, it's always a plus. It helps you in graduate school, helps you in the workplace. Uh, Anytime you can talk and you're not considered like street, whereas you consider more professional, it's always a plus.
All right. And so you mentioned that you're now tutoring and working with young people. What
Yeah.
are some of the challenges that you're seeing working with them, and how can we get more young people, do you think, excited about STEM?
Some of them have attitudes. Some of them don't like you or they have something going on, pre-existing issue before they meet you. People have perceptions. Oh, I didn't get an A or B in the class. I got an attitude, blah, blah, blah. I got some words for you, this, that, and the other. But it's like your work's not there. So we can't just give you an A or a B. You have to show that you've learned something to get that. And a lot of people, I think, in life come up short. Like what they think they know is not considered like A or B level work, but that's the grade they want. So there's a disconnect.
Yeah, I've been a teacher and tutor myself, so I've seen that
Okay.
also.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so I guess with math, and I do see kind of the math scores are declining in the recent years. What are
Yeah.
some of the tools that you use to kind of help students increase their math skills and to get excited about the work that they have to do?
Um, I got a TI 92 and I got a TI 86. I've used Desmos a little bit with the kids in the schools, and now I'm gonna say that. I don't know. Math Khan Academy's pretty good for review. I've been studying through Coursera's LinkedIn courses, so I use that to keep myself fresh.
Okay, so you
I've
mentioned
been
that.
taking pre-calculus lately.
Okay, all right. So you mentioned the Coursera, LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and what are some of the other tools that you use to kind of stay current on the changing trends in the engineering industry? 'Cause I know you try to stay up on that for the work that you do as well.
What kind of tools use to stay up on the engineering things?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't used anything to really stay up on the engineering things.
Or tools or resources, I would say.
I did download this one app that had some like vocabulary terms, and I forgot what it was called, but it had like what's an ammeter? What's a what's a rectifier? You know, what's this? What's that? All these vocabulary terms in it. And I thought that was good because one time I was on a job and they were talking about certain vocabulary words and like you should know that, and I didn't know what it was, so I needed something to help me. So I was like, let me download this app that has this vocabulary in it.
Okay, okay. And
Yeah,
now for you, you said you went the electrical engineering route because you actually wanted to work on and build things. Does that now, looking back, seem like an electrician route would maybe be more suited for that somebody with those type of ambitions?
I don't know about somebody else, but for me, the electrician thing probably was just too dangerous for me to really want to work in. Like I
Mhm.
said, I'm a thinker. You know, we could talk about 12 volts and 1 amp, but I don't really want to touch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
That's just me. But
Yeah.
different strokes for different folks.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now you went to the associate's degree and then
Mm,
you went on and got your bachelor's in electrical engineering.
right.
And you were saying that the school didn't really promote you as much. Did you get any type of certifications or outside of training
I
that
did not. Lately the last 5 years, since about 2020 or so, since COVID times, I've been studying for CompTIA stuff like the A+ exam. Been studying for that for a couple of years off and on. I got the IT fundamental certification. I'm working on A+ right now. I've studied Net Plus and Security Plus class I'm taking right now.
Yeah, and I've heard good things about CompTIA. I know that's a popular one. Security Plus, I heard it's a popular one too. With
Yeah.
those things that you're working on, what direction are you trying to go into now with these
I
new
might do something like help
certifications?
with IT.
Okay, more IT work, more IT work.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah. So I know you said you're a thinker.
Yeah.
What's kind of pushing you in that direction?
Um, I needed to switch off from electrical engineering because I didn't see myself finding the job in it that I really wanted.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's important to be flexible, and I think it sounds like you got a good foundation. Now you're trying to build on that with these other skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so, for somebody, you work with young people. If you had a young person that was trying to get into electrical engineering, would you suggest that they follow a similar route that you take, or do you have some other ideas about what may best get them to where they want to go?
Um, I think you have to find what you're good at, and also make sure that it's something that you like well enough to work 8 hours in. You know, because for me, when I was going through the engineering program, I wasn't exactly liking it like that. Like I said, I kind of got that associates, and then I was like, I'm not going to switch majors. I'm going to finish what I started. So, uh, just make sure that it's something that you really want to do. You know, that you're good at and that you really want to do. Not just getting a degree or just looking for a job because it pays well. Just make sure that it's really where you want to be. Because at the end of the day, that counts a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, Morio, thank you for your time and your insights.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed talking to you.
Okay. Thank you. So you gonna put this on something on